This is a demonstration of how to create this week's chart of the day. It's based on a chart that I pulled out of the Wall Street Journal, pasted in a picture, and your challenge is to see if you can recreate a chart in Excel that looks like this picture. The first thing to do anytime you're creating a chart is to have your data. And this chart shows the data right inside the chart, so we can just type in the numbers. And a little trick in Excel is once you tell it you're counting by ones, you can grab that little handle and count up to 2018. The number of tweets is also visible in the chart, so we'll just type them in. And then to create a chart, we need to highlight the data for which we want the chart to reflect. Then we go to Insert, choose a chart type, and in this case we'll go to that little drop down menu to get a horizontal 2D bar. Click on that one and it creates the chart. We'll move it over here where we need it, and it's already about the right size. Maybe make it more like WSJ chart. And notice that we do have basically the right values in there, but they're not in the same order that WSJ does it. So I'm going to click on this vertical axis and right click and format that axis. And notice that this window comes up with a little checkbox down here where we can put the categories in reverse order. When we check that, now our chart starts looking a lot more like the target. We apparently have the right data for the Y data, but the X data in here is just counting the categories because we never told it. I'll click on this chart. We told it where the Y data was, but not where the category axis data was. So let's tell it about that. Let's right click on that chart and select data. And you can see it knows where to look for series 1 because we told it. Let's come over here and edit the horizontal category axis labels. Now you're thinking, well, that category is not horizontal, and it's just because of the type of chart that we're using. Our chart is kind of rotated 90 degrees. Let's edit that and point at our label data and say OK. And say OK again. And now we have the correct numbers along the left-hand side of the chart. Notice that the WSA chart doesn't use a y-axis. So we'll click on that and hit the delete key on the keyboard. Nor does it have grid lines. So we'll click on a grid line, hit the delete key on the keyboard. We don't have the numbers showing up. So let's right click on that data series and say add data labels. And now we have the numbers, but they don't have commas in them. So let's click on one of them to select them all. Right click and say format data labels. Every time I'm right clicking on something, alternatively I could have come over here and navigated my way through these menus. But this is all about practice, so do it however you like or just follow my method. So the number style on the chart is general. We want to make it a number which suggests that it will have decimal places and a separator for thousands if we choose. We want to keep the thousands separator, but we want to change the decimal places to 0. We don't need those two decimals. Hit the enter key. And now our numbers, our data labels, look exactly like WSJ. So let's do a little bit of formatting on this chart. Let's change the title. Let's select the title and move it to the left-hand side of the chart. Let's also select the chart area within the chart object and move it up a little to make room for a label at the bottom. And again, this is all about practice, learning where to click and how to select different things. Okay, and we will put a data label at the bottom to get our notes and source. And to do that, we want to select the chart, say Insert, Shapes, Text Box, and we'll draw a text box in which to put that data label. Okay, now we have the chart as close as we can get it with the standard Excel formatting. So let's change the formatting. Let's give us a background by right-clicking and choosing Fill. And what's a good blue color to fill? I'm going to choose this light blue for now. We'll adjust it later. And then all of the fonts and everything else in this chart are white. So if we just click on the chart itself, we can choose this font color of white. And it fixed almost everything. It didn't fix that text box that we added later. So we'll select it and choose the white font. Now we need to change our bars by right-clicking, change their fill to white. Make sure you use white and not no fill. Okay, getting closer all the time. We happen to have that series selected. Let's deselect it. Select the chart, select the series, and come over here, look at the different options we have. If we can find this gap width, we know we need to reduce that gap width. And it looks like maybe something around 25 is going to be a pretty good match. So I'm just going to type in 25. We'll go with that. Looks like our font size needs to be a little bit bigger. So click on each of the fonts and increase their size a little bit. And we sure do have a light blue background. Let's make that a little darker. Okay, I think we're getting pretty close now. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to match that color exactly to what we copied in from WSJ.